Hello, Captains! This is the Doctor, and welcome to a brand new Star Trek Online video series I will be making in this game. I've done a lot of videos in this game up to this point, a lot of playthroughs of the different factions and STFs and missions and all the events that come along, just a whole bunch of stuff. One thing I've never done in this game on video is to go through and show you the fleet holdings that are present inside Star Trek Online. In fact, I haven't talked a whole lot about fleets in general. Fleets are a good resource in this game. Number one, if you're a team player, joining with a fleet can really be a huge advantage. You can get together in your fleet and do lots of STFs, lots of communication, and you can learn quite a few new things about the game you may not know. That's a good resource for you, and also you can help your team. It's also a very good resource for getting gear in this game. High quality gear. Gear you cannot otherwise get anywhere else. There are only fleet specific gear items available, and you can only get them if you're in a fleet. Naturally, to get those items, you have to go do things that earn you fleet marks. And then you take those fleet marks and you turn them into the fleet credits that you use to buy the items with. It takes fleet credits plus dilithium. Now, what I'm going to do in this new series is to give you a tour of each fleet holding that is now in the game. The very first fleet holding that came to this game was in July of 2012, and it is the Fleet Starbase. That's the very first one. That came out with Season 6 of Star Trek Online. Season 6 in 2012. That's when we saw our very first fleet holding for the first time. So what I'm going to do in this video is going to be all about the Fleet Starbase. I'm simply going to go there on both Federation and Klingon and show you what is available in a Fleet Starbase fleet holding. You may not know what's there. This video is for those who are not familiar with these fleet bases. You maybe have never joined a fleet and you don't know what specific gear and items are available for you to get from a fleet. Maybe this will help you want to entice you to join a fleet. Or if you're not in a fleet, maybe this will be like, it's just not important to you. Anyway, that's the whole point of these videos. I'm just going to give you a tour of the fleet holding. So let me first bring up the UI here, and let me show you what I'm talking about with the fleet holding. Gotta hit the right button, of course. I am with a fleet, as you can currently see here. And under holdings is where the fleet names are. Now, the very first one that we're going to look at today is the Starbase. These fleets can be leveled. The Starbase can go to Tier 5. As you will note here in our fleet, we have a maxed out Starbase at Tier 5. All levels are as high as they can go. That means everything is unlocked in that Starbase. Now, I'm not going to go through all of the things that can unlock here in this menu. You are welcome to go to this menu yourself, and you can check out and see what unlocks at each tier. What I want to do is just simply give you a tour of the Starbases, and I'm going to go in order of them being released. So that's why we're starting with a Starbase. I'm going to end with K13, which is the current new Starbase, the latest fleet holding as of this recording. Now, our K13 is not maxed out yet because, well, it's still a relatively brand new thing. So once K13 gets maxed out, then I'll be able to do a tour of it. But up until that point, I can give you a tour of all the other fleet holdings because we do have all their levels maxed out, and I'm going to be able to show you that today. So let's get straight to it. Like I said, this is just going to be a tour. I'm going to show you, first of all, where the fleet holdings are in actual space, how you would get to them if you want to get to them, and then what items you can purchase and do from these fleet holdings once you're there. Now, once you start leveling up your fleet holding with the Starbase, a transwarp option will become available. And you could go Fleet Starbase system, Fleet Starbase, and just always transwarp straight there no matter where you're at. That's the quickest way to get to the Fleet Starbase. But I'm going to actually show you where it's at in space, so that this way you'll also know where it's physically located in the universe or the galaxy here. So if we go out to space and you open your map, what you want to go is you want to look down here in the bottom left-hand corner, and you will find your Federation Fleet Starbase. So let's go ahead and navigate there, let our ship get oriented in the right direction. And you can see it's quite far away from the Sol system. It basically just goes straight down to this bottom left corner, and there you'll have the Federation Fleet Starbase. It's right next door to Deep Space K7 in the Aldebaran sector. Now, if you're wondering where the Klingon Starbase is, well, it's over here in Klingon space. It is in the Arconis sector, Klingon Fleet Starbase. It is right above the Gnalda system, east of Jozana and Donatu. So basically, when you look at the map like this box down here, that's where the Federation Fleet Starbase is, and this box over here, that's where the Klingon one is. I'm going to go to both of them in this video. First, obviously, as Federation, and then I will reload it to a Klingon character, and we'll go visit the Klingon Starbase. And we are actually almost to the Federation Starbase. So as we approach it, you'll see it here in sector space that it kind of looks like that. Pretty much. Let's go right to it. Load it up. And it has a space part to it. Just like you're in the Sol system. You can fly around in the space part. You can set all your powers that you need to. You can, you know, pretty much treat this just like the Sol system when you're outside of your space station. Now, this is an open zone, so other members of your fleet can also join you right here in space outside of the station, and it's an open zone just like the Sol system. But if you want to go down into it, obviously to get all the goodies, you want to dock with the station. And then this basically, it's just like going down to ESD. Same principle. We are now beamed on board our fleet holding Starbase. And everything in here is now available to me as a fleet member. We'll just go around and talk to anybody that we can talk to and see what's going on. If you're on this transporter pad, by the way, you can go to different places. You can transwarp to your other fleet holdings if you have other ones. For example, I can go to the Fleet Embassy, the Dilithium Mine, the Spire, and the Research Lab. It doesn't have a link yet to K13. I imagine one day in the future they'll probably patch that in, but right now there's no link to K13 from here. So you're just kind of have to go there on your own by itself. You can go back to the ship or return back to sector space. You can also invite other people here onto the fleet station as well. Anybody can come. Even if they're not in your fleet, I believe you can still invite them to a fleet holding. I don't know if they'll be able to purchase items from that fleet holding. They might be able to, but they might need their own fleet credits and stuff like that in order to do that. But anyway, this is basically the transporter room, and then when you come out, here's a big open lobby right here.
Please remember that unaccompanied tribbles are an environmental hazard and will be confiscated by security.
There's even a fish tank. That's a huge fish tank. Now, as you unlock different tiers in your fleet Starbase, there will be new decorations and new things that show up. So you're seeing a fully leveled Fleet Starbase right now. One of the things it has is like this outfit through the ages. I kind of like this. It's quite a cool like museum outfit type thing. Let me turn the HUD off here so you can see better. We've got the Enterprise uniform starting at the very beginning. TOS uniform. Look at that. I think these are like, yeah, the movie uniforms. I'm not sure exactly which one that's from. This is definitely from the first movie, I think. Then you have the Wrath of Khan uniform. That's obviously from the second movie, so maybe that's just part of TOS right there. But that's definitely the first movie, the second movie. Then we get into like early TNG era, like very early, like first season TNG era. Then we get into like DS9, maybe a little after that. There's certainly different variations in the TNG area as well. DS9 era. I guess this is supposed to be First Contact, where they go out on the Enterprise. They're in that environmental suit. Then we have a more updated uniform for when this game was released, like what was supposed to be like the 25th century variant of the uniform then. Even more updated uniform there. Which one is that specifically? Is that the diplomatic one? I'm not sure exactly. And then like a Mako uniform here. So that's really cool. It's like a museum of uniforms. And then up there is a museum of ships. Now as we come here though, yeah, we got tribbles. That's right. Our station's got tribbles. What can you do? They're just everywhere you go. As you look down here, this is so cool. This is basically shuttles going in and out of the inner core of your starbase, and that is just so dang cool that I just cannot explain it. You want to hope this glass does not break. Now, as you come up here, you've got a bar area, more tribbles. The new lighting 2.0 definitely has some problems, as you can see. Some of the light here blooms out things you should be able to see, but that's just a thing they'll have to fix. You're supposed to be able to access the bar. I have my HUD off. Here we go. Talk to Chef. You can do show a menu. You can buy, things from the bar here. Nothing real special, but they can, help you with things or whatever. Culinary credentials. The chef has duty officer assignments. This is what's big about Starbases and any of the fleet holdings, is there's a lot of specific duty officer assignments specific to these fleet holdings. So if I click that, for example, you'll see it has added new duty officer assignments. I've got this culinary credentials path that I can take, one of 5 missions, and I can select my officers and begin an actual chain here, a duty officer chain, specifically with dealing with the chef here on the Starbase. So that's cool. As you come around to the other side, here's the bartender. You can do, this is a duty officer assignment, pour a drink. Request a bartender to pour you a drink, something strong. It's a duty officer assignment. Special reserve. Again, a duty officer assignment. Extreme bartending. Again, a duty officer assignment. And look, this one's like ultra rare or something, or very rare. And then a menu of what the bartender sells as well. So these are a lot of duty officer assignments if you're really into that kind of thing. This definitely has them in abundance. There's even more than that. Talk to Nemo Jones. Don't know who he is. You look like you need a warm and fuzzy friend. How about a tribble? Oh yeah, I think you can read about him. I think this is more duty officer stuff. See, I haven't even done all this myself because thought that might have been a duty officer assignment. I might already have that duty officer assignment. I think that's why. But yeah, just a ton of things here that you can do just right here in this area. The replicator is just your regular replicator that you can access anytime by going here in replicators. Same thing. So that's this little area here. A lot of duty officer assignments if you're into that sort of thing. You also have, of course, a counselor here available. Yeah, more duty officer stuff. Schedule a morning counseling session. That's a morning counseling session DOF mission. You got afternoon DOF mission, an evening counseling session DOF mission. So all these are DOF missions. Lots and lots of DOF missions. So that's fun if you like that kind of stuff. Now, in here, you will find the bank, so you can access your bank anytime from your fleet starbase. That's necessary, of course. You can access your mail from here if you need to. What else can we access? We can access duty officer management, Lieutenant Farah. Remember, she's at Starfleet Academy, but you can talk to her here straight from the Fleet Starbase. You don't actually have to go to the Starfleet Academy anymore. Store. You can access her entire store here. You can access, what are duty officers, how do I earn fleet marks from duty officer assignments? Yes, you can earn fleet marks from duty officer assignments. Update combination credentials. Got another thing, I can update them manually. You can check all your credentials and stuff like that. Basically manage all of your duty officer stuff straight from this Fleet Starbase without needing to go anywhere. This guy is Officer of the Watch. This is again a daily you can do. Operating a starbase always requires a wide variety of tasks. Help keep the starbase running smoothly. Speak to the Officer of the Watch for specifics regarding your daily tasks. You will receive 20 fleet marks. We're having a smuggler troubles. There's always someone willing to do the wrong thing for the right price, and a new starbase makes a tempting target. What I need you to do is scan freighters near the industrial fabricator for contraband. Let me know if you find anything. So these are real simple dailies, and they give you like 20 fleet marks a day. So you're not going to get a whole lot, but if you want to come here every day, it's pretty easy fleet marks. So that's one way you can get fleet marks. Not a lot, but it's easy. This is combination report stuff. Again, this is, I believe, must have earned 110,000 experience in that category. Not really sure what this is. More duty officer stuff for sure. So, yeah, there's that. Then you've got submit request for personnel, so you can actually get more here. General recruitment. Duty officer of a high quality can possibly affect the outcome of duty officer assignments. These are more assignments: general recruitment assignment, tactical officer cadre, science officer cadres. Wow, just a whole lot of stuff here, and I haven't even done all this stuff myself. As long as this has been here, I just really never have gotten into it. Not a huge duty officer person, but the Fleet Starbase is definitely a place to go if you're into duty officer stuff, as we are finding out here. Just a ton of stuff. Don't know what this combination report stuff is. Please state the nature of the report you wish to file. In order to file a report, you must have earned 110,000 experience. So I guess, okay, so because I've maxed out my diplomacy, I can do another duty officer mission. This goes back to like your actual duty officer thing ranks here. I've got rank 4, which is 100,000. You have to have 100,000 to reach max rank in most of these, I think. And so because I only have diplomacy maxed out, that's the only one I can do right now. But if I had the other ones maxed out, I could request these other ones and do more duty officer missions. So there's potential there once you get past, once you max up your duty officer stuff here. Keep clicking the wrong button. Once you max your duty officer stuff here, just know this isn't the end of like duty officer stuff. There's just so much more to do here on the starbase with duty officers. So that's fun if you like that. But let's get to the good stuff, because you guys want to know about the gear, right? All the stuff that's available here. First of all, this turbo lift can take you to different places. Engineering, science, and tactical. We will take a look at all that. But let's first come down here, because this is the room where all the good gear is at. I could spend all day in this room, and in fact, there are times that I have spent a lot of time in this room. Let's start here, and we'll go clockwise. This is ground equipment. So from the ground store, here's what's available in a fleet starbase if you've ever wondered in terms of ground gear. First of all, everything is a Mark 12, very rare. No, or ultra rare. Is that very rare or ultra rare? I am so gonna get crap for not knowing. That's ultra rare. It's all ultra rare stuff. Now, the big complaint I have is that, you know, when this came out in 2012, this was max level, or it was actually Mark 10 or 11 back then. It was there wasn't even a Mark 10, 11, 12. Actually, this is 12. Did they upgrade the level on this stuff? Because it was like, I guess maybe they did at one point. I don't know. It's Mark 12, but Mark 12 is not the latest stuff now, because we can go to Mark 14. So my problem with this kind of stuff right now is that it's only Mark 12, whereas, you know, the current level is Mark 14. When this stuff came out, that was the max level, you know, and it was kind of understood that the Fleet Starbase was the place to go to get the max level stuff. Well, then they raised the cap from 13 and 14 to 13 and 14, and it was no longer max level. So my complaint is, I wish they would patch all of the gear up to Mark 14, which is what it should be, because it used to be what was max level before, and they just never have upgraded the Starbase stuff. They expect you to spend, you know, resources to go upgrade all your stuff. Anyway, that's my only complaint with it. Otherwise, it being ultra rare gear is a very good start. You have like 3 modifiers or 4 modifiers on stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4 modifiers basically. So yeah, so you're starting off with a very good quality gear. It's just not max mark level. You'll still have to go higher on that, which I don't particularly agree with. I think it should already be max level, or at least max mark level, if not max rarity. Anyway, here's what you get. Advanced assault pistols, rifles, armor, and shields. And then elite assault pistols, rifles, armor, shields, advanced melee, and elite melee. So there's 2 categories here: advanced gear and elite gear. And elite is very specific. It's mainly phaser based, whereas advanced can be different flavors of energy type. Elite is pretty much one flavor of energy type, because it has an even extra modifier. I think it's got like it's got extra abilities on it, like the adaptive part of it could be considered a modifier in itself, and we'll go into that and I'll show you in a second. So let's start with the advanced assault weapons here. We've got an advanced fleet anti-proton pulse waves, advanced fleet anti-proton blast assaults, advanced fleet anti-proton full autos, fleet disruptor blast assault, fleet disruptor assault miniguns, fleet disruptor fleet phaser pulse wave assault, fleet phaser pulse wave assault, fleet phaser blast assault, fleet phaser assault minigun, fleet phaser full auto rifle, fleet phaser pulse wave assault or plasma pulse wave assault, plasma blast assault, plasma assault minigun, Polaron variants of that, Tetrion, and that's it. Now what's cool about all these is basically all the modifiers. You got like, here's like, out of the 3 pulse waves here, you've got crit X, and damage times 3, or damage times 3.3, or damage times 3 kickback 3, or KB3. So that's kind of how it goes. For the blast assaults, basically the same: crit X damage 3, or damage 3.3 or damage 3 KB 3, and it goes on and on like that for like the different energy types. So you can, and the cost on them is like 10,000 fleet credits and then 3188 dilithium. Now my dilithium cost is a little bit lower because we have a dilithium mine. So without the dilithium mine, the dilithium price would be a little bit higher. I don't know exactly what it would be, but I know it would be higher. But with the dilithium mine, we have a bit of a dilithium buff, which allows the dilithium cost to be a little bit lesser than it normally would be. So just keep that in mind. But that's my current cost with all of our fleet bases and everything we have. It would cost me 3,188 dilithium and 10,000 fleet credits for one of these weapons. So not very expensive at all. Very, very cheap. You can get a lot of these fleet weapons and just have a field day with them. Try them out and see if you like them. But again, they're not max mark level, so you're still going to have to level them up yourself. And they're not epic either. So there's that. So if you really want to make them, Mark 14 epic, it can still take quite a bit to actually get there. So they're not as good as they used to be, and that's my whole point there. They're not as good as they used to be. They used to be max level to whatever the game was. They used to be, but they're not now. So they're not as good as they used to be, is my point. We have pistols too. You've got dual pistols, compression pistols, stun pistols, wide beam pistols, and you have them in all the different flavors. You've got anti-proton, disruptor, phaser, plasma, tetrion, polaron, of all those different pistol types with, again, those different modifiers, crit X damage 3 or damage 3.3 or damage 3 KB3. So it's just a ton of options there. Advanced rifles, you've got split beam, high density, and sniper. And then you've got all those variants of the type of energy that we just went through as well, plus those 3 different modifiers. So that's a whole bunch of rifles there, if you like that. Then you have armor. This is, again, the cost of all these are the same. You can see the cost. Even the armor cost is the same here. You've got advanced fleet energy dampening armors, polyweave, polyalloy, recoil compensation, integrated targeting, energy harness, physical augmentation armor. So all the types of armor in the game, except obviously these are not associated with any type of reputation gear or anything like that. But then they also have some good modifiers. You've got HPP Resol times 2, HP Resol times 2, Phaser Disruptor Resol times 2, Plasma Tetrion Resol times 2, Polaron Antiproton Resol times 2, Reg HP Resol times 2, Reg HS, that's Rage Health Points, Reg Shields, Resol, HPP, just a ton of different modifiers. So you can go through here, and even these have like some crit H on them, crit D. Here's a crit D and a red shield. I mean, you've got all these different things on here that you can look at. Fizz D, Reg HP, Res H all times 2. I mean, just 4 modifiers basically on each thing. So just a ton of stuff there. Advanced shields, not as many types here. Basically, you just have personal shield, but you have cap 3 PD damage, cap 3 energy, cap 3 PBK, cap 3 rev, cap 3 reg SH, cap 3 res A, cap 3 res B. So all those different types of modifiers as well. 10,000 and 3188 there. So these are also very cheap. I particularly like the reputation gear better. But like, if you did not want to use reputation gear and if you wanted to use more Starfleet type of stuff, certainly this fleet stuff is not terrible, but I would want to upgrade it to Mark 14, and I would want to upgrade it to Epic if I could. Then we get into the Elite stuff. Now, like I said, Elite is more specific. You're only going to find like phaser energy under Elite. So like Elite Fleet Phaser Pulse Wave Assault, Crit X damage times 2, Shield Heal. Now it's this stuff like Shield Heal and stuff like that that makes this Elite stuff different from other stuff. So like you have advanced assault weapons, which have like, a regular crit X and damage times 3, stuff like that. But then when you look at what the Elite Fleet Pulse Wave Assault does, it's crit X damage times 2 and a shield heal. So like if we click this here, SH, it says what it does. It is a 5% chance restores 12.6 shields every second for 10 seconds on a successful attack. So you have abilities like that. maybe a hull heal, it may be a shield heal, or something like that. So yeah, you'll have you've actually it's taken out one of the damage. You see, it's got crit X, and instead of damage times 3, it's damage times 2, so that it can have that shield heal ability. That's pretty much it. That's what separates elite stuff from the advanced stuff, is that it has a unique modifier that the advanced stuff does not have, but it does take away one of the modifiers before that. Does that make sense? So like elite pistols, it's going to have shield heal as well, taking away one of the damages so that it can replace it with the shield heal. And these are a little more expensive. 14,000 fleet credit, 4,250 dilithium. Rifles also have shield heal. Elite armor has res all on all the armor. And elite shields have, what do they have? They have adapt. Adapt, what does adapt do? When your shields are hit, adaptive shielding has a chance to activate, increasing your shield's resistance to the incoming damage type for a short time. Adaptive shields stack up to 10 times and can resist against several damage types at once. That's right. I like the adapt because I used it on a shield, a regular ship shield. I'll show you that when we get to the ship stuff. And it is very good. So this adapt ability, if you can get adapt that works on all energy types, stacks up to 10 times and resists that incoming damage. So actually, the elite shields, either for ground or space, are very good on the fleet side of things. A lot of people like it because of that adapt. Advanced melee weapons, you've got a couple of Vulcan Lirpas, crit H damage 3, crit D damage 3, or elite melee, you got KB3 is the modifier on that one, a chance to knock back 15 meters for the elite version of that. So that's the ground weapons, just a ton of ground weapons. Before we go to these other two things, let's go to the ship weapons, because this one is where you will also come to a lot. And believe me, I've spent a lot of time in here as well. Basically, same thing. You've got advanced weapons and advanced stuff, and then you have elite stuff. You also have hangars. This is where people go to get all those elite hangars that you see on those ships, or where I go on all my ship when I get those ships that have, you know, hangar options to get the better fleet version of the hangars. So first of all, advanced weapons. I mean, obviously, you've got anti-proton. As you can see, we've got a lot here. Anti-proton, chronoton stuff, disruptor stuff, phaser stuff. Just looking at all the energy types right now. Photon stuff, plasma stuff, Polaron, Tetrion, and then Andorian as well. If you have one of the Andorian ships, you can have Andorian weaponry as well, which is basically phaser energy based. So those are the energy types. And then of course you've got single beams, dual beams, dual cannons, dual heavy cannons, and turrets, and torpedoes. So all of the weapon types are basically in this one scroll box, which is huge. I wish they'd kind of organize this a little better, because it's kind of hard to find stuff sometimes. But basically, your single beams, your dual beams, your dual cannons, your dual heavy cannons, and your torpedoes are all right here, along with the energy type they're associated with, and then the modifiers that the fleet stuff provides. So like out of the 4 different single anti-proton beam array banks, you've got accuracy damage times 3, accuracy times 2, damage times 2, crit D damage times 3, crit H damage times 3, and that's it. So really, these modifiers are not so good for, except maybe the damage times, maybe crit D damage times 3. That's probably your best option there as far as fleet weapons go. What you don't see here, and that a lot of people like to use nowadays, is a lot of crit D, like, you know, crit D times 3 and stuff like that. You don't see that here. That is not an option. So really your crit D damage times 3 is probably the best modifier for what works best today out of the fleet gear. But just know that's what they have. There's none here with a lot of crit D on them. Again, this is born out of the way things were in the past, and it hasn't really caught up with today. They've never repatched this stuff to change modifiers or mark updates or anything like that out of the fleet starbase. I wish they would, because they could really make it awesome, but they really haven't done anything with the fleet weapons. But it's a good source of getting items anyway, and you can see the cost is also not very expensive for these. 10,000 fleet credit, 8,500 dilithium, so very easy to get these kinds of things, and a good resource for it. If you want to find some good weaponry, you can certainly do well with these. You certainly can. And I would recommend, again, of course, upgrading them to at least Mark 14. At least do that. They're ultra rare, but at least you need to upgrade them to Mark 14 because they are only Mark 12. You've got advanced engines, you've got combat engines, impulse engines, hyper impulse, and the modifiers associated with that. Full, speed times 3, speed times 3 turn, full, turn times 2, and speed turn times 3, and on and on and on. So a whole bunch of engine types. You've got shields. This is what I was talking about with the ones that have adapt. The adapt ones are the elite shields. So you've got fleet resilient shields, you've got covariant shields and regenerative shields, and you can see cap times 3 res A, res B, cap times 3 res A, res B, cap times 3, cap times 3. They all got cap times 3, but it's either res A or res B or reg. Reg is going to be, a heightened regeneration. Res A is going to be a resistance to certain energy types, specifically phaser, polaron, or tetryon. And then res B is going to be the other ones, disruptor, plasma, and antiproton. But the shields that I like best are the elite shields. Specifically the elite covariant shield with adapt on them, and all of these elite ones have adapt. I think I used reg, because the resistance one, you just never know what energy type you're going to be going up against. I mean, if you knew what type of energy type you were going to be fighting against every time, it would be okay to choose a res A or a res B one, but I went with the reg because all of the elite ones have adapt, and that's the important part.
Transports arriving. Unloading teams report to cargo base 6.
Adaptive shielding gains 1 charge, increasing your shield's resistance to the incoming damage type by 2% for 30 seconds, and it stacks up to 10 charges. So that's actually a 20% resistance for 30 seconds when it's fully charged for every energy type. So the adapt covariant shields, plus covariant has the highest shield capacity anyway. These adapt covariant shields make for a very powerful shield. So if you're not into reputation shields on your ship at all, or any of that type of stuff, adapt shields with cap times 2 covariant here will have a very high shield capacity and will resist up to 20% of any energy incoming to your shield. Any energy type has a 20% resistance. So a lot of people like these adapt shields. Of course, there are resilient versions and regenerative versions as well if you like those instead. But I like the covariant one. And I'll tell you, I rode with this shield for a very long time on a ship. And I only changed it because I wanted to play around with the reputation system. But these adapt shields, let me tell you, they are very good. I highly, highly, highly recommend them. That would be one reason to get into a fleet, would be to get a shield like that. The other thing would be for the hangar bay that I'm about to show you. There's also elite deflectors. I forgot to show you the advanced deflectors. There's advanced deflectors too. There's graviton, neutrino, tachyon, positron, and then all the things. Got lots of different options here. You got control X, drain, EPS, whole heal. So like you need power transfer or drain or any of those type of things. Huge here. We got EPG, whole regen, weapons Control X. It's all kinds of different stuff here. Then you have the elite deflectors, drain times 2 EPS, and psi CD. They all have psi CD on them. Science cooldown, I think. Is that what that is? It's something. I don't know exactly what. Starship control expertise. Scientific readiness. Improved science bridge officer cooldowns. I was right. So it is scientific readiness. All the elite ones have that. And then what this Starbase is really good for, if you've got ships with hangar bays and you want to upgrade those hangar bay ships, is the hangar section. Now, all this stuff was pretty cheap that I showed you. $14,000 for the elite stuff, $10,000 for the advanced stuff, $8,500 dilithium for the advanced stuff, and then $12,750 dilithium for the elite stuff. But then look at the price difference when we go to hangars. This hangar stuff is 100,000 fleet credits, and then 38,250 dilithium. So these hangars, these are not cheap at all, but this is where you go to get the best that you can get. These are all ultra rare hangar bays. And of course you can't upgrade them. They're already max as far as they can go, but they are ultra rare. This is the best stuff you can get for a ship that has any of these hangar bays. You've got the elite stalker fighters for the Cation Atrox stuff. You've got the elite peregrine fighters. You've got elite Type 10 shuttles, Yellowstone runabouts, Delta flyers, armored shield repair units, Callisto light escorts for the carrier tier 6 and fleet carrier tier 6, the elite Nausicaan Stinger fighters. You've got the elite Jem'Hadar fighters, elite Jem'Hadar attack ship for the Jem'Hadar dreadnought carrier, elite Romulan drone ship for any dreadnought warbird or a Kelvin timeline Tolero Intel carrier warbird, Voth elite heavy fighters for the Voth ships. You've got Zindi aquatic Mobuli frigates for all of the Zindi stuff. You've got elite Aeon time ships for the time ship stuff. You've got elite Epoch fighters for the multi-mission science vessel and temporal dreadnought. So this is where I go to, of course, get all of the things I need. And it won't light up or let you buy them unless you have a ship equipped that is capable of supporting one of these. So that's why it's, even though I have enough fleet credits and dilithium, no, I don't have enough dilithium, never mind. So maybe it will let you purchase them. I just don't have enough dilithium. I thought I had enough dilithium. So yeah, I don't have enough dilithium right now to even purchase one of these. But anyway, you just match it up with the ship you're using, and this is where you go to get the best fighters for your ship. They're all level 61 elite fighters. So they're level 61. So that is where you go to get the good stuff on the Fleet Starbase. Now there's more stuff available. We got this guy here, Quartermaster. He has stuff too. He's got boosts and stuff like that. Now I don't really see a lot of people use this stuff, but it's really not that expensive, so I guess you could. They're consumables though, so like once you use them, you know, I think they go away. There's like op assets here. I've never actually used any of these periods, so I don't know how they work specifically. But you've got like fleet engineering team, gives you plus 198 hit points for the entire fleet. Repairs disabled systems and engineering debuffs. Fleet photon torpedo platform is bugging out on me, but it looks like it creates a photon torpedo platform for operational support. Assembles a powerful long-range photon torpedo platform to provide operational support. They fire rapidly with 20-kilometer range, so this is stuff that can help you in anything. I'm guessing STFs or whatever you're playing in a fleet. But they are consumed on use, which means they disappear. So you spend 1,000 fleet credits to get it, sure, and then basically you use it and it's consumed. It's all used up. It's basically one use only. So I've never used them simply because of that fact. It would take a lot of fleet credits to like collect a lot of these to actually be useful. Fleet plasma turret creates a plasma turret for operational support, transphasic torpedo platform, a fleet exocomp and drone support, Tetrion turret, Quantum torpedo platform. A fleet forward base creates a forward base. Fabricates an extensive forward base with turrets, defensive shields, and combat supply. I mean, it all sounds really good. The problem is it's just one use. You know, you use it and it's gone. So you spend 4,000, 5,000, you know, fleet credits, and boom, it's gone. So you're going to end up having to spend a lot of fleet credits if you want to use these more than once. Yeah, they sound cool, but it's just that one use thing. It's like, meh. But there's a lot of different things here you could do. Fleet phaser turrets, Starbase spinal lance. A lot of cool stuff. It sounds great. I've never used it, and I just know that once you do, it's one use only. A low frequency theta radiation cloud. Emits a low frequency theta radiation cloud from your ship, causing new crew damage to enemy ships and reducing the strength of their shields. I like the sound of that. I mean, this is some really cool stuff. Fleet gravitic instability probe. Creates a powerful gravity well near your ship. The gravity well will draw in nearby enemies and cause them kinetic damage. I like this stuff. It's just that, you know, it's one use. One use. Fleet engineering skill boost. This consumable device will improve all engineering skills for 4 hours. So, I mean, yeah, that's great, but, you know, it goes away and it's consumable. Tactical skill boosts, science skill boosts, ground skill boosts, and a fleet mark bonus pool. You will earn 20% additional fleet marks until you've earned a total of 100 additional fleet marks. They might as well just give you 100 of them. So all these are consumables and then they're gone. So I like the sound of them, but I've never used them simply because of that fact. But they are there if you're into that. Maybe you do earn a lot of fleet marks. In that case, that stuff could be useful to you. We also have a tailor, so you can change your costume. And from the tailor, there's a store. And from the store, you can get your Odyssey excursion uniform and Odyssey dress jacket. This package unlocks the Odyssey excursion uniform for your captain and any customizable bridge officers. Use the tailor to change your uniform, blah, blah, blah. Odyssey dress jacket. This packet unlocks the Odyssey dress uniform for your captain and any customizable bridge officers. So this is what you get with your Fleet Starbase, Odyssey dress jacket, and Odyssey excursion uniform. I have already purchased these, that's why it's grayed out. But that is what you get here is the Odyssey stuff. So very cool for a uniform. And then, of course, you can try it on. I don't know if I have one of those equipped. Odyssey dress side closed. I have that. I have that uniform. I don't think I have the other one set up, though. Okay, so that's this room. As I said, this is a room you will have a lot of fun in if you're looking for a lot of good gear. It's all there, and it's definitely good gear. It's not terrible. It's just maybe not specifically the best it could be, but it's still not bad. Let's go to, let's start with the engineering section. Now this stuff is pretty much going to be all about duty officer stuff, if I recall correctly. Been a long time since I've been down to the lower levels myself. Ship customization officer, we know what that is. Here we go. Personnel officer, this is where you're going to do, yeah, more duty officer stuff. Tellarite cultural exchange. Reassign underperforming officers. So that's duty officer stuff. Talk to engineering repair officer. You can repair your ship injuries. That's pretty much it down here in engineering. Not a whole lot. Oh, we got one more thing over here. Again, it's duty officer stuff, operations, special projects, holodeck performance of Hamlet. So more duty officer stuff down here you can pick up. All duty officer stuff. Pretty much nothing else there. And then let's go to science. It's pretty much going to be the same. Like here's duty officer stuff from the medical officer, assemble a hypopack, medical regenerator, medical assignments. You can treat your wounds here from the medical officer. I don't think there's anything back here. Nope. So more duty officer stuff here for science, and then tactical, that's going to be the same as well. That is not the door. Here it is. So as you will see, security officer, you can turn over contraband, transfer prisoners. The defeated changeling, if you have one of those, you can drop it off here. This room is huge. See what we got here. Ship selection officer, shuttle requisitions. And military briefing, this is more duty officer stuff here. So yeah, the lower levels, big on duty officer stuff, again, if you're into duty officers. So a huge theme here with duty officers, for sure. Let's go back to ops. And that is the Starbase. There's one more room I didn't show you, but it's really nothing. Down here, this is a holodeck. I don't even know if you can do anything in here. I've never actually ever done anything in here. It's just here. It's a holodeck for no reason. Let's go up to this area here where the ships are. We'll take a look at that. Some more tribbles. There's some ships up there. It's kind of cool. I don't know what that ship is. Oh yeah, I do. Yeah, not as good as the uniform one. The uniform, the museum of the uniforms down here is pretty cool. We need a better museum of ships. Oh, here they are. This is what I was talking about with the ships. I found it. I just wasn't looking in the right place. I knew there was one here. HMS Enterprise, 1775. Yeah, that existed. That was a thing. I didn't even know that was a thing. I knew that the naval ship was, but I didn't know that there was. I guess I should have known because it was in a movie. But there it is, HMS Enterprise, 1775. There's the USS Enterprise, 1961. There's the Enterprise Shuttle, 1977. Now, interesting about this shuttle, I don't think it ever went into space. I believe that this shuttle was the prototype they used for the Space Shuttle program, but I don't think it ever flew in space, which is kind of sad because they named it Enterprise, obviously, after the show. I guess fans came together or whatever. They named it Enterprise, but it never actually went into space. Kind of funny. Then we have the Enterprise of 2139, which I don't know where that comes from, except maybe novels, because we've seen it in pictures in the show, but we've never had an explanation for it. I didn't even know there was a year assigned to it, so maybe there's some novels that expand on it more. But anyway, apparently it's from the year 2139, which I actually did not know what year that was from, which is not too far behind the Enterprise in X-01. I mean, very close together, those two. I'm very surprised by that, to be honest with you. Enterprise 2151, NX-01, of course we know. Then the USS Enterprise 2245, NCC 1701. The Enterprise A, NCC 1701A, 2286. The Enterprise B, 171B, 2293. You know, the Enterprise A and Enterprise B followed very closely to each other as well. Enterprise C, 2332. That one came a lot later. I wonder how long the B ran for, because that's a lot later. And then, of course, the D2363. And then, of course, the E2372. And apparently it's lost in space with Data as the captain, from what I know. So I don't know what will happen with that. And then the Enterprise F2409. The new Enterprise F. So that's the history of Enterprises. I like that quite a bit. So, basically, this is what you get out of a fleet starbase on the Federation side. We've still got to look at the Klingon one, but it's basically the same, just on the Klingon side. It won't take long, trust me. We'll go do that one a little bit quicker, because we've basically shown you everything now, or I've shown you everything that is available between both starbases. So the fleet starbase is the place you want to go when you want ultra rare Mark 12 gear. You can get advanced gear and elite gear that have a unique type of modifier you will not find anywhere else. You can also come here to get your hangar bay items. Anything for your ships that have hangar bays. This is where you go to get the best hangar bay stuff. Now, with that gear, it's only Mark 12, so you will have to continue to upgrade it to Mark 13 and then Mark 14 to be max level. However, it is at least ultra rare, which means it's only one quality rating away from being epic. So the quality or rarity is way up there. It's next to the highest quality rating, which is great. It just, however, is not Mark 14, which I believe it should be, because, again, when this stuff came out in the game in the first place, the very first time it came out, it was the max level for this game, and so it was known that you went to the Fleet Starbase to get your max level gear. And now, when they raised the cap and raised the level to Mark 13 and 14, it was no longer max level. I think they need to raise the gear accordingly to be that. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. So the Starbase, also extremely well known for all of the duty officer assignments. Huge thing there, duty officer assignments. So duty officer stuff, Mark 12, ultra rare gear. On ground and space, you've got deflectors, shields, weaponry in space and ground. All that basic stuff you need to enjoy the game is right here in the game. And there's a player right there. So you can see how that works. It's an open social zone. Anybody can come here and in your fleet to the Starbase. You can talk with each other. You can do whatever you want to do and kind of meet, and that is that. Let's now go back to sector space and go to the Klingon one. Let's see. Transporter. Return to sector, and we're going to go visit the Klingon Starbase. And actually, I need to change over to my Klingon character because I can't do that as a Federation character. So let's do this. Let's do this, and a this, and a that, and a that. Let's go to my Klingon character, and let's go to the Klingon Starbase. So here we are near Kronos, and we want to go to Klingon Fleet Starbase. So let me bring up our Klingon side here, and you will see the Starbase here on our Klingon side is also Tier 5, all maxed out. So we have total access to the Starbase on this one, and I'll be able to show you this one as well. And here it is from the outside. And we just ran into it. Let's dock with it, or beam into the space area here. So here it is on the outside. It's just like the Federation one, where you can spend time on the outside of it. This one's a little darker than the Federation. Obviously, it's Klingon. It's supposed to be a little more darker. So you beam in, and same thing with the transporter. You can talk to the transporter operator and transport to your other fleet holdings from here as well. K-13 is not here yet either. Now this one I don't really come to a whole lot, so forgive me if I get some of the directions wrong here. I've got to figure out where things are myself, because I really do not come to the Klingon one that often. But here's a big window to look out into space. You can see up there, down there. Very cool open area here for the Klingons. Again, this is going to be big on duty officer stuff, just like the Federation one. Everything's pretty much the same. It's just laid out differently. Fleet duty officer stuff, very rare quality duty officer. Fleet engineering personnel, so you can actually buy duty officer stuff here. Fleet duty officers. That's that. Talk to personnel officer. Submit requests for personnel. Same thing as the Federation one had. Reassign underperforming officers. Exchange officers. Very rare duty officer exchange. So a whole lot of just duty officer stuff if you're really into that, which I'm not, but it's here. You can access your mail. You can talk to Lieutenant Stoss. What do you have? More duty officers. So Stoss is basically like your Lieutenant Farah on the Federation side. This is where you access all your duty officer stores and everything from him. Here's the Officer of the Watch. Remember, there's a daily, just like the Federation has. You can get 20 fleet marks, and you do the daily, whatever it is. Let's see. How long has it been since you've calibrated the weapons with as much combat as you see? Take your ship to the weapons test satellite and run some combat drills. When you're done, report back here. Simple stuff to earn about 20 fleet marks a day. So, pretty simple stuff there you can do. File commendation reports. I don't even have mine opened up, do I? I've only... No, I do have marauding opened up. I got marauding at rank 4. So I don't know why marauding is not show. Oh, you need 110,000. Oh. And I have I have just over 100,000. So I need to get to 110,000 on marauding before I can even open up that. So I got to do more on that. Okay. That's great. Access the bank. That's the transporter up there where we came from. There's a room that way, and there's rooms that way. Let's go to the rooms where I know all the gear is at first, and then we'll go visit the other rooms. There's ships there too. We'll take a look at that in a second. And I guess this is the elevator. Where does this go? Science, tactical engineering, same as the Federation. So in here is where all the gear is on the Klingon side, and it's basically exactly the same, I think. Let's go to weapons, except it's all Klingon-based stuff. Like, it's going to start with disruptor stuff. Yeah, same stuff. Actually, not even that. You've got basically exactly the same as the Federation Starbase. You got your anti-proton pulse waves. You've got disruptor. You've got plasma. So you have all of the types here too. Same as the Federation. Not going to go over it all again. The same exact modifiers as well. Crit X, damage 3. These are the same modifiers we just looked at on these weapons. So between the Federation and Klingon sides, you're not getting an advantage over one another. It's basically the same gear. All the same. Elite. The elite stuff is going to be the same as well. Here's your, adapt shields. Melee is going to be a Batleth, though, instead of a Lirpa. So that's one difference. You do get the Klingon Batleth or the Elite Fleet Klingon Batleth here as well. So Batleth instead of a Lirpa, obviously, because you're on the Klingon side. But you can get a whole lot more stuff than just Disruptor. So you're opened up to like anything on the Klingon side here, on ground stuff. And then over here is the ship stuff, and it's probably going to be the same. Advanced weapons, and then you've got anti-proton, you've got your single beams, your dual beams, your cannons, your torpedoes. You can get phaser stuff here if you are into phaser stuff. So yeah, anything here, and then the Andorian stuff is on this side too. And the prices are exactly the same, so the setup is exactly the same between all the stuff here. And then here's your hangar stuff. Obviously there's going to be the Klingon-oriented hangar bay stuff here. You've got Elite Toldush fighters. Launches 3 doors for this. Can be launched when you fight that cruiser or carrier. You've got Quadun birds of prey for the Vokuv, the Mirror Vokuv, Fleet Vokuv carrier, shield repair shuttles. You've got Elite power siphon drones. You've got Elite skull fighters. You've got Elite Ferjai fighters for the Karfi carrier, the Fleet Karfi carrier. You've got Elite Orion slavers for that. You've got Elite Orion interceptors, Elite Tachyon drones. A lot of this stuff I haven't actually ever used before because I need to do more stuff on the Klingon side. Armored marauding force, Elite Gnostican stinger fighters, Elite Jem'Hadar fighters, Elite Jem'Hadar attack ship for the Dreadnought carrier, Elite Romulan drone ship, Voth ship stuff, and Zindi ship stuff here. So very Klingon oriented, obviously, but it's pretty much the same, and the prices are exactly the same as well. And then you also have your quartermaster stuff here as well, boosts that you can get just like we looked at on the Federation, but they're all consumable. Use them once and they're gone. And then the Tailor as well has a store here. And the thing that you get here is the Bortaskew ceremonial uniform accessories, Bortaskew Guardian uniform accessories, and Bortaskew operative uniform accessories. So a whole bunch of accessories, Bortaskew accessories there. Different types of different types. You got ceremonial, guardian, and operative. So different flavorings of each of those accessories for your Bortaskew uniform. Basically, that's what you buy here from the Tailor, from the Klingon Tailor. So that's cool. We'll go to the lower levels after we finish the upper level here. Let's go on this side and see what's over here. Got a holodeck again here as well. Don't know why it's there, but it's there. And this doesn't go anywhere. So that's that. Let's go into the, I think this is like a commons room back over here. Let's take a look real quick at these ships. Birds of prey and some carriers. Raptors and other types of ships here. Very cool. I guess they don't have like a history of ships on the Klingon side. I don't see anything like that. They do have this thing here. Oops, I'm stuck. Jump. I didn't notice this till just now. Let's take a look at it real quick. It's like the Klingon symbol. Klingons looking up their ships. That's cool. I'd like to have that as a picture on my wall in real life. I want like a picture of that, you know, a wall picture. Alright, let's go in here to this room. So we've got one thing I really like about this starbase is this. You have a fireplace. That's very Klingon. A fireplace on a space station, and that's a big fireplace too, on an open space station. I love that idea though. That is perfectly Klingon. You can have a seat by the fire. I mean, how cool is that? Let's turn the HUD off. Yeah. That's kind of relaxing. I like this. Yeah, you know, I wish the Federation stuff had more unique things like this. This is very homey. And it's even got a targ rug, or I don't even know what that is, or what kind of thing that is. One of those, you know, I don't know the name of it. I forgot it, but I know the alien. I've seen him. That's really cool. We can't burn ourselves on it. Look how big this is. Huge. I like it a lot. Okay. We got this here. What is this? We can make a toast. You can only benefit from one type of blood wine at a time. You cannot benefit from blood wine and tribbles. Okay. Got to dance some dancers here. Bartender stuff again. Chef stuff. So that's this area. Pretty much the same as the Federation stuff. Let's go to those lower levels and take a look down there. I think it's pretty much just going to be duty officer stuff like the Federation side was. I don't even know if I've ever been down here myself. I might not have. Yeah, this is pretty much just going to be like duty officer stuff. Engineering, repair, ship customization, Orion conscription order, reassign underperforming officers. Yeah, same stuff.
Security, report to the transporter room.
Let's go down to science.
Transmission from command coming in.
Looks like we have a couple of rooms down here to go to.
Level 6 security protocols are in effect.
Medical officer. They've got it really spread out. I can see.
Report to the computer core.
I can see all the duty officer stuff down here. Yeah, they got it really spread out down here. 3 different rooms. Hypopack. This is duty officer stuff. Yeah, more duty officer stuff here. Gorn conscription order, reassign underperforming officers. It's a lot of stuff. Which door was the... Here we go. Let's go to tactical. Wow, this one's big too. Nausicaan mercenary contract. It's all duty officer stuff. More duty officer stuff. Ship selection officer. Starship and shuttle requisitions. Absolutely nothing in here. An empty office. You guys get the idea. There's a lot of stuff to do on a starbase. I mean, if you're really into duty officers, that's a door that is dead. Which door gets me out of here? I forgot where I'm at. Which door gets me out of here? Dang. Is it this door? Okay. I'm locked. I'm like, I lost. It's gotta be that way. I'm already lost. More duty officer stuff in there. Really don't need to go look at that. You get the idea. Lots of duty officer stuff. This starbase is a little more confusing. I like that. That looks cool. And that's it. That's the Klingon side. So as you can see, both on Federation and Klingon, the place to this is the place to go to do duty officer stuff. This is a place to go to get your ground and ship weapons, Mark 12 ultra rare stuff. This is a place to get your hangar pets and do all that kind of stuff. You can do a lot here at the Starbase. Get your basic stuff on. You know, no consoles or anything like that, but this is basically your basic stuff to get you going. So that's what's available in a fleet Starbase. Now, obviously, if you're Romulan, you're either going to be allied with the Klingon or the Federation, so you're going to be going to either of those two bases. Romulans don't have their own fleet Starbase. It's either the Federation one or the Klingon one. That's pretty much it. So now you have seen the two fleet Starbases that are available. That's the fleet holding, the first fleet holding that came out in this game in 2012. I hope you all enjoyed that. If you are not in a fleet, now you know exactly what a fleet Starbase has to offer. But fear not, there are many more things to look at in terms of fleet holdings that have a lot more things. We've got the Spire, the Research Lab, K-13, Embassy, and the Dilithium Mine. So I'm going to take a look at each one of those. Of course, just like this video, the next video will be the next fleet holding that came out in Star Trek Online after the Fleet Starbase. So stay tuned for that tour. You will enjoy some of the things available there as well. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoy this new series of videos I'm doing, and hope it's informative and somebody out there gets something out of it. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next one.